Let us first understand some of the methods in detail. In that, I just going to cover one particular method in detail first, and that method name is uh, drop na method for dropping missing data. Okay, so that's what we are trying to learn first. Let me look at that, make it as a markdown. I just made it as a markdown. Okay, fine. So let me make it as a markdown. Let us understand what I meant by drop na. I have df, and if I say there is a function drop na, so you can actually select the function drop na here. So what this function do, and if you have my data as uh, a data frame you are creating, df drop na, if you see that, if you see your my data, you can see that it drop all the rows, whichever element is missing, that respective rows would be deleted. Okay, so we are not specifying any kind of instruction that what you need to drop, and default mean Python will delete all the rows whichever there is a missing element, that respective row would be deleted from that. Okay, that's what happens from a drop na. So if you see here, drop na, uh, how any means, that is a default function. So any means it will delete that row with any missing element is there, that row will be dropped. Okay, that's what the meaning here. Sometimes you want to apply dropping based on the fact that, for example, I have my data, the default behavior I said df drop na, and how I said that be any, and rather than using that I just mentioned all. So if any row got all elements are missing, and which will be dropped. Okay, I just call it as this one, just make it this way. So if it is there, it will be dropped. That's what happens in terms of all. Okay, so all versus any, default is any, and otherwise if you give how is equal to all, it'll drop that particular row with all the elements in the row is missing, that row will be dropped. Okay, but in the same time, in that particular row, anywhere any value is still present, will not get dropped. Okay, that's what happens here in this case. Yes, let us proceed with understanding some of the other function related to that. For example, I create my data 2. So there I'm just trying to say df, that is my data frame, drop na. I just put a bracket. I just use a function subset is equal to, I can say that while deleting, you just look at only two columns, like like wherever there is something called as tail number is missing, tail number means there is a missing. Or you can also say that if something with respect to flight mean there is a missing, you drop that. So and then afterwards you can say my data 2 or something like that, will be able to print the results here. So it means that it is trying to drop missing uh, rows based on only two columns, right? So it's based on either there is something missing tail number or flight, and that case that rows would be dropped. That's what happens in case of subset function. I believe you understood the use case of that drop in a function or method, and it got three different, and one is called as if you say type is equal to this one, you can say any, and then all, then you can also use subset. Okay, these are the three possibilities here. That's it with respect to drop in a method.